We're going to make a spring bouquet, and I have picked up a lot of beautiful flowers. So I'm just in the process of selecting the different flowers that I'm thinking to use for today's bouquet. I will try to keep today's bouquet quite simple, but very, very strong and colorful. So I'm using the purple, dark purple nuances together with this very, very bright orange. It's a quite harsh color combination, but I really think that this very fresh color between the purple and the orange, I think is so beautiful. So it's something that kind of make you happy during the spring season to use these kind of very strong and happy colors. I'm starting to prepare some of the flowers, take off the greenery. Right now is the tulips. Please look very close, as they are absolutely incredible with these small zigzag sort of blooms here. I can only imagine how gorgeous these will be when they really open up. You can really see each petal has a very beautiful detail here. Let me explain a bit about the flowers that I'm using today. It's the beautiful anemones in purple, dark purple, some absolutely gorgeous, quite long stem pansies. I have some viburnum, the gorgeous tulips here with the really detailed petals. I have my ruscus, which is basically my greenery that I use only to create shape and to build up the bouquet. I have some mudusera, which has a really tip here, the green. This has quite an interesting smell. I think a lot of people hate it. I really think it's nice, it's very fresh. Two types of gorgeous ranunculus. Particularly this one is really, really beautiful and special. Here I'll just take off all the small buds and all the leaves. We are soon ready to get going. What's a little bit different from regular, let's say, carnations or roses, is that there's a lot of movement in spring flowers, and there's a lot of very thin stems, and a lot of stems that moves a lot. Like tulips have a lot of movement, the anemones have a lot of movement. These ones also, the pansies, are very sort of skinny. So you need to sort of focus a bit more on how you put the bouquet together versus regular stems like roses and carnations. I'm starting out with the tulip. This is the shortest of the flowers that I have, so I just want to make sure that I don't make the bouquet too tall in comparison with some of the other flowers that I have. Again, the ruscus here, Israeli ruscus, I use mainly for sort of building up the bouquet. As you will see towards the very end, you will not be able to see the ruscus when the bouquet is finished. It's only used as a tool in between the different flowers. Another thing, when you play around with these type of spring flowers, you can see this pansies here, where this flower here is much lower than the other ones. Since I'm doing quite a tight bouquet, I will have them play around a little bit, meaning go up and down. And this last one here is maybe not going to be that visible, but I'm trying to sort of adjust the height of the bouquet so all the flowers on each stem will be sort of seen as much as possible. As you can see here, there is 3 flowers in so far, and what I want to point out is that you can see how this is curving to one side. I'm putting each and every flower in this way, so instead of having it go out from the beginning, I have it more sort of coming in, and then later on, as I finish up the bouquet, there'll be more of these flowers coming out, but to start with, sort of going inwards. And that's always a technique that I use. Another thing I really consider a lot when I make this type of bouquet is how the flowers will develop. So since these are all the spring flowers, all the bulb flowers, they will move a lot. Particularly this tulip will probably grow 1 to 2 centimeters a day, meaning that already this afternoon and tonight and tomorrow, there'll be more movement and size difference, height difference in the bouquet. I will actually keep the tulips a little bit low in the bouquet, and the reason why I'm doing that is that they're the most aggressive ones to really come up and grow a lot. So I'm sort of putting that into consideration when I am adding different flowers. As I explained before, like this one before, I would put that inwards. Now I'm actually putting this a bit outwards to create a little bit more dramatic movements around the edge of the bouquet. And perhaps also these pansies I will let come out a bit longer. The bouquet is sort of really coming together now, and I'm working on the final details. As I talked about in the beginning, you can really see this very, very beautiful contrast between the purple and the orange, and this really happy and strong colors is really sort of coming out beautifully. And now I'm just adding on a few greenery here in the end before we wrap this up. Closely you can see particularly the ranunculus here that I have in several places, and also some of the pansy has an absolutely amazing color nuance. You can see, for instance, this one really has almost like the black and the yellow and in between, really, really gorgeous. I've chosen strong color combinations here. I'm often asked the question, is there a wrong or right in using colors? Is there something you cannot put together? I guess in the end of the day, it's all about liking, so what your personal taste is. There are a few color combinations, like for instance, I'm very cautious when I use red and white. Another thing is like using like red together with purples. I don't do too much, but I think it's a lot about case by case and what your personal likes are. Here you can see how, the silhouette has come together, and also, as I often explain, that I work a lot on the back side as well to make sure that there's a nice cushion all the way around of greenery to sort of support the flowers. I explained a little bit about how some of the spring flowers are a little bit more fragile in the stem than other flowers, so therefore I make sure I have quite a nice cushion to sort of support the flowers and support the movement that's coming from now on. There'll be a lot of movement from the tulips that is sort of tucked in here. And again, it's on purpose that I have kept them a little bit lower than some of the other flowers, because I know how this is gonna come up full speed as soon as they go back into water again. My technique is always to cut first and put the string on after. So I never put the string on before I cut the flowers. I believe that there's so much, I would say, positive movement going on in the bouquet after you have cut it versus before. Keep the short piece to the right, and then I always go behind. Here you can really see the bouquet as it's come together. It's a nice shape, I think, and it's only now we'll have the shape. There'll be a lot of movement going on right away, but that's the beauty of this season now, of all the spring flowers. Beautiful colors, I think. There could be a nice gift as well as a celebration with these very strong colors. So I hope you enjoyed this bouquet. I surely enjoyed making it. So thank you for watching.